So let's take a look at this here. Here's a book, The Face of the Man from Saturn, a Dutton Clue mystery. Isn't it interesting that they use this kind of face for the man from Saturn? I wonder why they would use a face like that. What do you think? Do you think it's by chance that they use that? That's equated with another character that Christianity always pulls up? I'm not saying, look, the devil, the picture of the devil, because Saturn rules Capricorn, that's where the goat thing comes in. That's the whole goat thing. The pitchfork is the 3 on the Kabbalistic tree, which is your Saturn or your Bina in your Kabbalistic Hebrew or whatever. The horns. I mean, let's face it. What would that be? One would be blue, and one would be red. Right? This is a bunch of different things that put one character together. Okay? This green that you see, you'll see that associated with witches because that all has to do with the moon. So if you take all of these occultic pieces and you put them together, you create an entity. Cloven hoof, that's the goat, and all of that stuff. Pan. So that's interesting that they picked this. I'm just basically showing you how they equate Saturn and Satan together. So Saturn, Satan, and Santa. Isn't it interesting that he lives at the North Pole? He lives at the North Pole. Now let's go look at this here over here. I showed this to you before. Yeah, that's nice. If you guys don't think that there's something bad going on, I mean, it's always been this way. This is nothing new. It's just so blatant right now because in the old days there was no reason to make waves because everything goes in a cycle. And there's no reason to push things ahead of their time, so everything laid low. But we're at a particular time where now this shit is being pushed into the public on purpose. And so people are going to play games like this guy, whoever the fuck this guy was. So let's look at the date here and the time. And let's see how he played his game here. So we've got, what do we got here? We've got July. That's 6. Then it's a 3 at 9:30. 930. There's the code right there. 63930. Okay? That AM has a specific meaning too. Big Daddy O. Who's Big Daddy O? Big Daddy O Big Daddy O. Big Daddy O is this dude right here. Not literally, but of those tendencies, right? Wants this picture removed from the internet. And then they think they're being clever by saying this. Share the hell out of it. So they want you to share the hell out of it. It doesn't mean to make it better. They want you to share the evil with everybody. Make sure that everybody gets a dose of this. You understand? You got to learn how to read things. Share the hell out of it. They're not doing this to help things out. They're doing it to make things worse. So when you say Daddy O, you guys have to learn that this O is a halo. It represents the O. It's the opening, the female opening, whatever. It all represents the same thing. So when we got Daddy O, sometimes you'll see people say this. Well, they say it a lot, especially when they're texting. But it's the same thing. So basically, when you say this, let's just put an apostrophe here. You're saying, oh my God. You're saying that this O, Daddy-O, or the man from Saturn, is my God. So you got to understand how they put these catchphrases in there. So when people say that, what they're saying in essence is the man from Saturn is my God. Oh, Daddy-O, oh my God. You see how they do this? And then you're supposed to share the hell out of it. These are fucked up times. These are fucked up times. I remember before I knew any of this stuff. You know, even as a little kid, I used to read the Bible and stuff. But I mean, I didn't know any of this stuff. Life was a totally different gig for me. Because when you start seeing this stuff, it really sucks. And you can't unsee it and you can't close your eyes to it because it's everywhere. It's involved in every fucking facet of your life. Whether you see it or not, it's there. And so you have to learn to live with it. It's kind of like living with a disability. Like I said, you don't have to be crazy to live here, but it fucking helps. You know, the 6393, these, you know, that's all, you know, the 639 code, 639, you know, it's the way that the energy is flowing, going or coming. I just remember as a kid, I mean, I had a horrible childhood, and I mean bad. But I got to tell you, it was better than this stuff. You know, this stuff is kind of it's a two-edged sword, kind of. It's a blessing in a way, but it's a hindrance. It's a big fucking hindrance, because ignorance is bliss. Really, it is. And the bullshit about all of this is you can't really help anybody that don't want to be helped. And I can't really say that I've helped any of you. I've made you see some things, and I've made you understand things from a different viewpoint that we're used to, but I can't say that I've really helped any of you. I never came on here to be a teacher. All I'm trying to do is show you connections that I personally see, and then I share them with you. And the bitch about it is there's absolutely no proof that I'm right. I mean, we can definitely see that there's a freaking system working in front of us that most people can't see. But I can't sit here and say, I've got it down. I know that I'm absolutely right. I would say that personally, myself, I've tried to disprove my own stuff, and I can't. And so I don't ever want anybody to think that I'm the dude that's got all of this down and all that. If I knew all of this stuff, I'd know how to get around it. You can't get around it. At least I can't see how to get around it. You know, this how little we actually know about this place. I mean, you can sum it up and say, yeah, it's a division of hell, and I think that's very true. I don't think it's the hell that people envision in their head, but you know, anything that aggravates you, you know, it gets under your skin is a form of that. Whether it's being married to a broad that won't leave you alone, or this stuff, or your boss at work. You know, this place that we live in is set up for misery. That's why Jesus told the disciples, fuck the poor. And basically that's what he said. He said, you're always going to have poor and you're always going to have sick. Pay attention to me right now, because I'm not going to be here very long. Because he knew that this place is set up for misery. That's why you will never get rid of hunger. You will never get rid of the poor. You can never do enough good here to fix it, because you will always get punished for doing those things. And I think in some weird way, the way that all of this flips is the more good we try and do here, the worse we make it here. You know, I can't remember what famous guy said it, and obviously he was part of the Club of Rome. He said, it's obvious that we're destined for hell. The best thing we can do is not do anything at all. Because obviously he must be speaking about how that other system works, where if you try and do good things, you're just going to make it worse. So the best thing is just don't fuck with it. Just let it run its course or whatever. You know, what a world it would be if we all could do nice things and change it. This place ain't set up for it, and the guys that run it, they have an agenda, and that shit ain't happening. People in Africa will starve. Death and destruction and misery will constantly be here, disease. It's just what this place is. It's like trying to say, oh, I'm, you know, trying to change your skin color from black to white, or from white to black. You can wish it all you fucking want. It ain't going to happen. So you have to learn how to deal with it. Or like some ailment. And I'm not equating being white or black to an ailment. I'm saying, let's say you're born with polio and you have to walk or wheel around in a wheelchair. You have to learn to deal with this crap. And understanding that this place is just, it's never going to play fair with you is part of it. And it really fucking sucks. Because you can't go back to being the innocent kid you once were. And the thing is you can't make people see it, even the ones that you care about. Notice I used the word care, not love.